Take fucking 8, bro. Your boy keep getting distracted, having the videos fucking start a video over and over. That's what happens when you got, you know, a dog and family and all that good shit. But anyways, we're still here. So, YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Ascension Capitals, man. Tapping back in with another video. And welcome, guys, back to another episode of Ascension Recaps. So, I have a trade idea that I took on Friday that I want to share with you guys, some EU shorts. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. No time wasted yet. So, looking at EU, this is what price action was looking like when I first got to the chart. I already had this area of interest that I mapped out on Thursday prior. We'll post to this break of structure that happened, and also a break of structure on the 4-hour time frame. So I have 2 time frames in sync. So the 4-hour was bullish and we shifted to bearish, and also we had a shift on the 15-minute from bullish to bearish. So the 4-hour and the 15-minute time frame is both bearish. So I want to definitely be looking for shorts inside of this market, and I want to see a pullback to premium pricing of this entire trading range, which is from my swing high here, and we have my swing low down here. So when I got to the charts, the first thing that I saw was we already had a run on Asia buy side liquidity. So we've already taken out Asia buy side here with this breach of liquidity, and also Asia lows are still intact. So keeping in mind that both time frames are in sync, so I definitely want to be anticipating that those Asia lows will be taken out after price reaches premium pricing. So when I got to the charts, price was already kind of consolidating in this sort of area, but I definitely wanted to be patient for price to reach my area of interest for me to look for confirmations out of this zone to take price lower. And another confluence that I had was we had this daily fair value gap that has yet to be tapped into or filled. So I definitely was favoring lower prices on this day. So as you can see from this annotation here, this is sort of what I was looking for. So if we get to playing price forward from around 8:15, let's see what it was doing. So if I get to playing price forward, I was going to be patient until price got into the level I was looking for to get involved. So price is doing what it's doing. Around 9:30 the market opens and we have a run higher, eventually coming into this area of interest. And as you can see, I have this imbalance that is annotated here. I was anticipating that price would fill this imbalance, because although I could have had this sort of tighter point of interest, something like this, I was more willing to get involved if price came into premium pricing at all, which it did do. So if I were to draw my fib from the high to the low of this trading range, from high to the low, price came all the way to the valid extreme, which is the 0786, filled that wick. And once price came into the point of interest this high and also filled that imbalance inside of this point of interest, this is when I dropped down to the 1-minute time frame and started to really map out what 1-minute structure is doing, so I could look for my confirmations to possibly get involved. So price is now ran inside of this point of interest. So now from this point, I want to map out where exactly are the 1-minute swing points. So the first thing that I see here would be this last break of structure on the 1 minute.
So good. My humidifier thing worked good.
Good.
Thank you.
Alright guys, so sorry about the distraction. Yeah, so from 1 minute structure here, I had this 1 minute swing point here, and that was the last break, and the last pullback before that break was here. So now we are mapping out the internal structure. So let me turn this to green, because my 1 minute structure is always, or internal structure is always green. So now I have solidified what my swing minute structure are. So I can't really call this a swing high yet because I don't have a 3 candle pullback. So the moment I get 3 candle pullback in the opposing direction, this is when I can signify that this will be the new swing high. So if we do this now, annotate our new 1 minute swing low, and this will be the ideal level that I want to see fail before I start to look for sells inside of this market. So let's annotate this. We'll change the color because it's black. Need to change that to boom. So now we have my 1 minute swing low, which is I want to see this low get broken before I get involved to look for entries. So playing price forward here, we finally get a 3 candle pullback. So now I can say that this is my 1 minute swing high. So now I have my 1 minute swing trading range, or 1 minute trading range, which is swing high, swing low. So now I want to see a shift, which will be a change of character, and then I can look to get involved from some sort of area if price decides to shift structure. So now let's play price forward and see what happens here. So price came forward doing what it's doing, and I want to already kind of map out where price is likely to reverse and to map out my 1 minute order block. And essentially this whole sell down to buy will be the whole entire trading range. So I could essentially do something like this and choose a range that makes the most sense, because this is the whole, again, this is the whole sell to buy. So I could map out this entire zone like so, but I like to have more refined zones, but this zone is very valid. But I like to really kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, refine the zone so I can get more of a refined telltale sign that this is going to be the level that's going to hold for the continuation of 1 minute structure. So I refine my zone down to essentially the bottom of this imbalance here that I have in the market, which is between these 3 candles here, because you have to have 3 candles for an imbalance to be formed. Between this imbalance here, so this will be the whole zone. Okay.
You should be knocking out the men.
Okay.
What? So if you get crazy later on, just give him one. Don't take 2 minutes. What? What? Brother Worth, come on.
Alright, so yeah, so this imbalance here was where I decided to draw my bullish order block, because the bottom of the imbalance started here, and this was the last kind of pivotal point in the market, so I decided to choose that. So this is the ideal level that I want to see fail before I start to look for confirmation. So let's play price forward to see what sort of reaction we get from this zone here. So price initially stabs inside of the imbalance. So actually, let me just keep this drawing of the imbalance line here. So we stab inside of this imbalance. And yeah, we're essentially inside of the order block already, but more on the grander kind of scheme of things, remember? So yeah, we're down here at the value extreme. So let's play price forward to see will this level hold or not. So eventually we come down and boom, we tap into the valid extreme order block right here on the 1 minute time frame to see what this level does now. So playing price forward again, price is giving a reaction like it wants to deliver from this zone, and we start to initially get a strong reaction from this zone. And yeah, price is kind of playing around, looking like this level is going to fail, and eventually price closes below our 1 minute swing low, also flipping this bullish order block that we have here. So now we can label this from our 1 minute swing low to our change in sentiment or our change of character. So now the 1 minute has shifted from bullish to bearish. So now I would like to get involved. But one thing I have to keep in mind was we have this valid extreme up here. So now that price has shifted, price does have the possibility of pulling back to this valid extreme zone, and possibly this being the area where the market is likely to reverse. But keeping in mind that this was the level that got broken, and also this was the leg, well, I can draw that better than that. This was the leg that was responsible for the break of this whole flip zone here. So with keeping that in mind, I'm anticipating that, okay, I don't think the valid extreme is going to get mitigated because, one, we are fairly late in the session. This trade idea was in the afternoon session around 1:30, and two, we have a whole leg that is responsible for that break. So that is likely what I want to be keeping in mind. So first thing I see in this entire leg here is boom, price had already kind of filled this order block here, got tapped into, and the second kind of zone, this whole kind of buy to sell range, has already been tapped into. So I don't really see price breaking these highs in here. So now this is when I decided to start to look for my entry. So now I'm making a video.
It's a big one.
Alright guys, so I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so this whole leg right here that was responsible for the break that caused the change in character. So essentially, looking a bit closer, this was the last break in the opposing direction, and this would be our last internal break of structure. So now I'm choosing to get involved from this zone because this is a continuation of the leg that is responsible for the break. So now what I'm anticipating now is for, I said now kind of twice, that's weird, but anyway, I'm anticipating for a price to pull back to this level and give me the reaction that I'm looking for to get into shorts on this market. So this is when I went ahead and placed my sell limit with a 3.9 pip stop loss. 3.9, yeah, with 3.9 pip stop loss, targeting a 1 to 3 as usual. And now I was patiently waiting to see if I was going to get the pullback and the fill that I was looking for. So if I can move this over, well, where can I move this? How can I put my face in front of that? Oh damn, where do I move this shit? Alright, so now playing price forward, let's see what price does, and eventually we get a break further down to the further down in structure, and then we start to get the pullback, and price starts to pull back to my level of interest slowly but surely, and boom, initially now I get tagged in and my order gets filled. So at this point, now I'm looking for price to deliver to at least my break-even point, and this is my break-even point because this was the last impulse that was responsible for putting in the mitigation. So ideally I want to see this low be broken before I take off my position. So looking at this structural point, this is the level I want to see broken before I roll my stop to break even. So playing price forward, I get tagged in and price starts to stall for a little bit and start to deliver. And eventually price comes deep into my point of interest, and it's quite a good thing that I didn't have such a tight stop loss, because I would have been wicked out of this position. So that's one thing. That's why I always preach give your stop loss some breathing room, because price does from time to time come very deep into drawdown before it starts to deliver. So boom, playing price forward here, price starts to deliver. So at this point I'm thinking, oh man, this is not looking good, but we had an internal break of structure to the upside inside of my level of interest. So for me to start to feel comfortable with this position again, I wanted to see this level kind of break to see the market shift back to the downside. So playing price forward, let's see what it does here. So now we're just kind of floating in drawdown, and we're coming back into profit, and we get the shift that I was looking for. So price shifted back bearish internally, and now I'm looking for price to roll to my break-even point, and we're kind of floating in profit now, and boosh, now price now price has come to my break-even point, and this is when I officially roll my stop to break even, and that was around this level here is when I roll my stop. And now I'm just looking for a price to deliver to my target. So playing price out. Well, let's change this color. And now I'm just waiting for price to kind of play out. So eventually price is doing what it's doing, kind of playing out. My risk is off of the table. So now I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. And eventually price reaches a 3R. Well, this is a little bit further than 3R. Boom. Price smashes a 3R, and I close 95% of this position. And yeah, the reason I left a runner, because again, close 95% because there's still plenty of downside room for this trade. So I am looking to close my full position when price get to Asia lows with the remaining 5% that I do have running. So yeah, this is what I am looking for to kind of transpire for the upcoming week of next week. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how that kind of plays out coming into the new week. But I'll pop up on the screen here the trade summary for this trade idea. And yeah, man, again, getting those base hits in and trying to really maximize on the gains with the runner. But this does looks like a very high probable trade idea, so definitely hoping to see this low get taken in the upcoming week for a nice 1 to 17. Well, not fully a 1 to 17, because again, I closed 95% of the position, I only have 5% remaining. But yeah, guys, this was the trade idea that I had from today. So a nice 1 to 3 risk to reward bagged. And yeah, guys, I need to continue to do this, week in and week out. But yeah, guys, that's all we got for this trade idea for today. Let me put this back to how I found it. You feel what I'm saying? So boom. So yeah, nice 3R booked on this Friday. Yeah, guys, that's all they got for this trade recap. So hopefully you guys can kind of understand a little bit how I see the market. Again, looking to continue the 15-minute trend more than anything. Look for confirmations in a 1 minute. Look for confirmations on the 1 minute time frame from a 15-minute point of structure to continue the 15-minute trend to see where we end up. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this trade idea. I'll see you guys in the next one. So may we all keep rising, and peace for now.